Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala khairul mursaleen. Muhammadin al-Nabi al-Ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. يقول الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, I guess the title today is something like African American Islamic Revival, or something like that, Islamic Revival amongst African Americans. Anyway, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Kala tatriba alaykum al-yawma yaghfirullah lakum wa huwa arhamu al-Rahimin. He said, no reproof against you this day. Allah may forgive you, and He is the most merciful to show mercy. This is the ayat of no reproof. It's ayat relating to Yusuf alayhi salam. Well, I'll read what the commentary says. It is related that the Prophet ﷺ took hold of the two sides of the gate of the Kaaba on the day of the conquest of Mecca and said to the Quraysh, how do you think I should treat you? This is the question. How do you think I should treat you? He's talking now to the people who have been hassling him, oppressing him, making war on him, making war on the mission, killing the Sahaba, all those things. And now he's conquered them. So he asked him, now how do you think I ought to treat y'all? They said, we hope for good, a noble brother and a son of a noble brother. Now they flatter him. He said, I say, as my brother Joseph or Yusuf said, La tatraba, no reproof be against you this day. This is a famous saying that Yusuf alayhi salam said. He said, this day let no reproach be cast against you. Allah will forgive you, and He is the most merciful of those who show mercy. Now this commentary says, Joseph or Yusuf is most generous. He is glad that they have at last seen the significance of what happened. But he will not allow them at this great moment of reconciliation to dwell on their conduct, which reproaches against themselves. There's more urgent work to do. Now, this is what I taught today is technically it is this no reproach. We put that as a subtitle. What that means is, now let's get the story straight. We got Yusuf alayhi salam. He'd been hassled and everything done to him, thrown down the well, sold off into slavery, and disowned by his brothers and everything else. And finally they come to the conclusion that, wait a minute, are you Joseph? This is a question. Are you Joseph? He said, yes, I'm Joseph, and this is my brother right here. Yeah, that's who I am. So now it's been hit them. And now they want to go into self-condemnation. If you see what I mean. They want to condemn themselves, and they want to beat themselves and we did wrong. He says, it's not the time for that. We got too much work to do. I want y'all to take this shirt, go back home, give it to your daddy, bring the family here. We got too much work to do right now. That's what that no reproach means. It means that Allah will forgive you your sins. You do this work, Allah won't overlook, because Allah is Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. But it uses the term Arham. Yakfirullah lakum wa huwa arhamu. Arham actually means womb, the mother's womb. But it has it comes from Rahma. Arhamu 2 times, Ar-Rahimi. So now, this is what Joseph is saying. Hey, we got too much work to do. And he said, no censure is on you today. May Allah forgive you, and He is the most merciful to show mercy. So all of them say basically the same thing. Now, this is Joseph again. O my sustainer, thou hast indeed bestowed upon me something of power, and hast imparted unto me some knowledge of the inner meanings of happenings. Originator of the heavens and the earth, thou art near unto me in this world and in the life to come. Let me die as one who has surrendered himself, that is a Muslim, unto thee, and make me one of the righteous. So again, we have Yusuf thanking Allah for giving him some power. Remember, he's second in command in Egypt. Now, when he come out of penitentiary, he's second in command. He's distributing all the resources in Egypt. All the grain, everybody now, there's a starvation in that region, and the only place that has any real resources is Egypt, because of his vision. You plant for 7 years corn and put away plenty, put away as much as you can, because there's going to become 7 years of drought, 7 years of famine. So since he saw that, the king put him over the storehouses. He's thanking Allah, because Allah has imparted him with some knowledge and the inner working of things. And the other ayahs in the beginning, it talks about the understanding of hadith, and hadith means sayings and what have you. So his prayer is, I want to die as a Muslim. And that's it for me. Now, yet, however strongly thou mayest desire it, that is, most people will not believe in this revelation. Although thou dost not ask of them any reward for it, it is but Allah's reminder unto mankind. But then how many a sign is there in the heavens and on earth, which they pass by unthinkingly, and on which they turn their backs. So no matter, this one thing we have to remember, we have to do the work. Like we go out and pass out flyers and what have you. That's what we have to do. It's not our responsibility to count the heads, the people that come in, the people that listen. In fact, I'm going to talk about, we're going to have a series of flyers from 1 to 10. at least I'll talk about the upcoming flyer in a few minutes, inshallah. But however strongly you may desire it, most people will not believe in this revelation or in the message. You know, we as a community, all the stuff that's happening right now, we done talked about this over and over again. I picked up a flyer at ICM. Look what it says. Dar al-Islam movement, African-American Muslim contribution to Islam in America. The contribution to Islam in America. Up at Howard, Sherman Jackson, I don't know if you went up there, but Sherman Jackson and Zaid Sharker was there speaking. You know what they said? They said the African American has replaced the white man as someone to submit to. I mean, the African American has replaced the white man with the immigrant. It's as though we have a natural self-image, psychological makeup. It's though we've been trained and conditioned to submit to other people who are a little lighter, a little brighter, don't know care what it is. But so now, if you look at Islam in America, what do you see? You see big, huge, look at the centers we see around the U.S. I don't know of any African-American center that has 2 or 3 Jummahs. I don't know of any African-American center that has 2 or 3 Jummahs. It may have, but I just don't know it, right? Yet these people have, some of them have 3 Jummahs all the time. And the first 2, the parking lots be bulging. You can't park in the parking lot. The first 2, you can't find a place to park. Okay, so as we go on, the Prophet said, "This is my way resting upon conscious insight, accessible to reason. I am calling you all unto Allah, and they who follow me, and say, limitless is Allah in His glory, and I'm not one of those who ascribe divinity to Allah. And then they who reject the divine writ never journeyed about in the earth and held what happened in the end to those deniers of truth who lived before them. And do they not know that to them, and do they not know that to those who are conscious of Allah, the life of this world and the hereafter is indeed better than this world, even though they will they not use their reason? That's what it says. Will not they use their reason? And the early apostles had to suffer persecution for a long time. But at last, when those apostles had lost all hope and saw themselves branded as liars, our succor attained to them, whereupon everyone we will to be saved was saved, and the deniers of truth were destroyed. And never can our punishment be averted from people who are lost in sin. Okay, so here's the last one. And remember that whatever you are giving now is but for the passing enjoyment of the life of this world. Whereas that which is with Allah is far better and more enduring. It shall be given to all who attain to faith, and in their sustainer place their trust, and who shun the more heinous sins and abominations, and who, whenever they are moved to anger, readily forgive. When they are moved to anger, they readily forgive. And who respond to the call of their sustainer, are constant in prayer, and whose rule in all matters of common concern is consultation amongst themselves, and who spend on others out of what we provide for them as sustenance. And whenever tyranny afflicts them, defend themselves. But here's the question. I got several stars by this right here. You can probably see it right there. It says, but remember that an attempt at requiting evil may too become an evil. Now, this is something we've been dealing with a long time. It says, in other words, successful struggle against tyranny, which the latter is meaning of the noun body, in the last sentence of the preceding verse, often tends to degenerate into similarly tyrannical attitudes toward the erstwhile oppressor. Hence, most of the classical commentators stress the absolute prohibition of going beyond what is right. What that means is we're oppressed. Look at our situation. We have a crackpot government gone crazy and declared war on Muslims.